See, a lot of times people are misled. They don't understand. Like they're not informed. You can say, "Oh man, you gotta do such and such and such," but you're not telling me how to get that. So were you? Did your dad and mom sit down and tell you, well, this is how to do such and such?
No, I learned financial literacy in my adult life. Yeah,
Same here.
That's why I got life insurance at 31, because I wasn't, he always told me about it, but he didn't say the importance of getting it. You know what I mean? Same thing with, like I said, with just being financially stable later in life. And, you know, that's why.
I only got it because I did a podcast with State Farm. And so they did bring somebody up that does like life insurance policies. And I was like, damn, I need to get some life insurance. I can't, talk about other things. And then I don't have everything that I should have together.
Go, Rabu, go.
No, I'm sitting here listening. I'm listening and learning. It's amazing. And like you said, you got when you was 21. And like you, my parents didn't. I didn't learn financial literacy until I joined network marketing back in the day, a company called Prepaid Legal Services. I'm traveling and learning with them. And for 20 plus years, like when I met my wife, Sherry, shout out to Sherry, that's Kev's best friend.
Sherry, what up?
When I met my wife, I didn't have a checkbook. And I graduated Rutgers with 2 degrees.
Wow.
But I didn't have a checkbook. My credit was jacked up because my grandmother, may she rest in peace. When you're in college, you get that credit card. She like, baby, send me one of them home.
Right.
So I sent her like 4 credit cards. So my credit was jacked by the time I graduated school. And so when I met my wife, she's like, you don't have a checkbook? I was like, no, I'm going to check cashing place. And that's just what it was. I'm from North New Jersey. Now I've traveled the world, but in the beginning, it was real. And so we got life insurance early on because we got it through our job. And then we ended up getting some policies afterwards. But, and our life insurance is our safe. It's not our safe haven. It's a decent policy, whatever. But we make way more money than that. That'll secure our future and maybe 2 generations from here if they're not crazy. And so, me and Kev hooked up because I started a little social club just to keep financial literacy fun. Because a lot of times it's not fun.
Right.
And when I used to make money, and I did okay for myself, I would try to put people on, teach them financial literacy. They go one in and out the other because people don't want to talk about money for whatever reason.
Until they see the end result.
Absolutely.
They don't want to talk about it until they see the house, the car, the jewelry, something else that they be like, there's no way that you can make that doing your regular job.
And sometimes people feel ashamed, too, if they're not in a good financial space.
Right.
It's hard to talk about it. If you're embarrassed that you haven't made, better financial decisions or that you just don't know. Absolutely.
And the biggest thing is just not knowing. But you're saying the end result. So Kevin and I hooked up because he has a friend named Sherry, and I started a social club in the middle of the pandemic, May 28th, 2020. And I was in sales for so long, and I had to travel so much. I coached basketball with my daughter, and I subbed at a school just to get back, but I was never home. And so I said, I'm never selling anything again in my life, ever. And I said, if I can't make money on my money, I'm not doing it. And I'm not knocking people in sales or whatever. I love them, God bless them. Whatever you love, that's great. But when Kev hooked up, I was like, yo, man, I got this social club. It's like 20,000 of us at this point, all around the world. And I'm helping people make money through different investments. However, I never give financial advice, ever. It's against the law. So I said, Kev, could I get on the radio, so on and so forth, and that'll be more advertisement just to get people to join our group. And we don't sell anything. So I have no products to sell, no services to sell. We don't sell education either. We just give it away. And so Kev, we connected, and then we start doing some concerts. We did a concert with Jadakiss and Jim Jones. We gave away a brand new Mercedes, and people saw that. There's, like you said, they saw the end result. It's like, dang, what are y'all doing? Then we did one with Cardi B recently. That went decent. I started doing stuff with Clear Vision out of Philly. My man Jock from Flo Vodka, he's from Cleveland. We started doing celebrity softball games. We did a big one with Jalen Hurts. We did one with Baker Mayfield. And so I started doing these events so people can see that we're real. Because they believe this.
Right.
They don't believe the cat that they knew from North. They believe this. And so, and I sponsor these events. You never make any money by call sponsorship. However, we're becoming a household name. So we show people, like, Kev, we find little things that in our social club, we're like a cigar bar. Or you going down and chilling at your spot where you and your friends just kicking it. And that's all we do. And you may come and he's like, yo, man, I found a way we can make some money. We're going to run it through the channels. If it's legal, you know, we got 4 feds in our board, you know, a judge on our board. So if it's legal, if it makes sense, if it aligns with our integrity, we're going to put it out there. And people join these little platforms all around the world. They make anywhere between, we hate to throw out numbers, but 20.
Man, talk your talk. Come on, man. Stop being, talk your talk.
Sometimes they make 20 to 80% a month on their money and it compounds. And we've helped people make millions of dollars in the last 2 years. And we started 2 years ago. And it's a lovely thing, man. Like one of my boys, he's sitting out there. He's a decorated state trooper in New Jersey, one of the best ones, internal affairs. And he loves the fact that, you know, in the next like week or so, he'll be able to pay off his mortgage.
Right.
And so we started doing this. While I'm at Kev, I got published in Forbes. And I came up with this thing called the Rabu Gary 1/3 rule. And the reason why I came up with it because my wife and I was arguing. Because we was broke. We was in foreclosure for years. Because we bit off too much so we could chew. We moved into one of them 5,500 square foot homes in the neighborhood. We couldn't pay for the lights. You know, because during the time when you could get a mortgage.
No money down.
No doc, bro.
No doc loan.
No doc. So that was us. We was young.
You know, my interest rates during that time was 17%.
Bro, think about it.
Busta Rhymes hooked me up with that guy. It was like, no doc, get it. I got in that shit. That shit was 17%.
Bruh.
My crib now is less now than I paid back then, which was about what?
What?
10 years ago? Well, no, about 15 years ago?
Yeah. It was crazy.
But I didn't know. He didn't know either.
We didn't know either. And you know, it was our second home because we lived in Newark and we got a rebates and all that stuff. We got our first home, FHA and stuff. But this one, same thing. Thing balloon. Bro, we was in foreclosure for 5 years.
I was DJing bar mitzvahs. Not to go in foreclosure.
Bar
mitzvahs, quinceañeras,
really?
All that.
But
this was what, in 2003, 2005?
This was eight for us.
Yeah, about 2005. Yeah, 2008, around that time.
And at the time in Jersey, we paid everything else but the mortgage. And I was like, baby, they come get this bad boy because at the time they weren't taking houses because.
Oh.
You know, thank God. They weren't taking houses.
Yeah, I
so,
didn't know you could be in foreclosure for 5 years.
Yo, we
Not
did
now.
it. Not
Yeah,
now.
I was like, I didn't even know that was possible.
They get you in a week.
Back then, that's when the market fell. And
Right.
at the time, I had 3-4 houses at the time because I was flipping and I got caught with that too. But I was DJing everything. I was like, I ain't losing this shit. But
And I'm working everything you could possibly imagine. I co-authored a book. We sold 50,000 copies. You know, I'm trying to get it, but it wasn't enough.
Right.
And you know, when I started playing with these little investment things, the crypto world started to blow up, right? And I started to see my friends get destroyed buying tokens. They're going down, trying to sell them, and they start losing money. And I was like, no, we're not going to do any token stuff either. But what we're going to do, we're going to use the crypto world as currency. But we're not trying to buy something like you go to Atlantic City, buy something and hold on to it, and hopefully it appreciates, which that's not knocking it. But bro, what started to happen is, you know, I put Kev on one of the platforms. And Kev will tell you right now, like, and I don't name drop because you're not supposed to do that. He gets shout out to everybody. I don't name drop, but it's A-list artists and athletes that play with us. But we started with cats like Camden, New Jersey. So once I started getting on and we started educating people on how to do this simple, I said, I called 2 of my boys in Camden. And I get excited when I talk about this. I called 2 of my boys in Camden and say, yo, I'm going to put y'all on. Y'all take it to the streets. Camden don't even have a police force anymore.
What?
Their crime is some of the lowest that they've ever had.
Yeah, I remember that was a huge
Camden
story.
don't have a police force?
No, they have sheriffs now. They don't even have a police force. But the crime is so low because everybody eating.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay.
When cats is eating, they ain't busting people over the head.
That's a fact. That is a fact.
Yeah.
And that's why I don't understand when people have these conversations about police reform. When we have these conversations about defunding the police, that's what they're saying. Let's take some of this billions of dollars y'all are putting in police forces and put them in the community. Provide resources for people.
Resources.
Yeah, get to build trade schools, teach people a trade. Like,
Right, exactly. And so what we started to do, because traditionally, and I'm African-American, traditionally for African-Americans, we don't learn the investment game until it's late, if we learn it at all.
right.
And so we had to be real soft about it because, again, you don't want to tell people to put their money. But what we started to do, we start helping people make so much money, and we start buying them these rings. You get a $13,000 ring when you make money for you and your family. You don't have to sell anything. You don't have to show up for anything. You make your money, or your family start making money. You show me what you've done, and we reward you with this ring. So all these people start getting these rings. Everybody else like, I want the ring. To show me stuff. We have hundreds of people right now with this ring on their finger. And when I put out the 1/3 rule, and I'll stop after this. What have you? When I put out the 1/3 rule, my wife and I was arguing because being in foreclosure and not having any money, when you start making some money, she won't put everything in the savings account because she's thinking this might happen again. Mm-hmm. And I was like, babe, we can't put anything in the savings account. We got to make it make money for us. So I said, let's come to an agreement. I said, whatever we make, we'll take 1/3 of it and pay debt. So we paid our mortgage off, student loans, credit cards, everything gone. So we'll take another 1/3, reinvest it. We'll take that last 1/3, cut it in half, put 50 cents aside for taxes, and then the other 1/3, go shop. Have you some instant gratification. That has changed the lives of over 300,000 people. Our folks don't have any car notes. They don't have any mortgages. They don't have any credit cards. They making money. And so me and Kev was talking. He's like, yo, the industry cats need to hear this because people love what they do. Y'all love what y'all do. I know y'all love what y'all do. But sometimes you want to get off the elevator. Or you want to be able to get off the elevator at one time and not have to work forever. And so that's what we do. We play with little small investments. Some are very conservative. And it's killing the game. But we don't just, we do mortgage notes. We do Amazon stores. We do Forex. We do crypto. We keep it all spread out. Because if the industry falls and we only invest in one thing, we all dead.
Diversity.
Hold on, Paul, I'm sorry. I have to exit. But, Kev, I need you to come up here by yourself. Rabu, I love what you're doing. I don't mean it like that.
No, it's all good.
I love the information you're providing. Kev, I want you to come up here by yourself so we can have a different conversation another time.
Okay.
But, Rabu, thank you.
Thank you, bro.
They know I got to leave.
Yeah.
Appreciate y'all.
Nah.
But for people that do want to get involved, give them the information so they can definitely check it out.
Yes, sir.
It's
And even Angela Yee, we both encourage people to own their own. You know what I mean? So it's like, that's why I started my own car show. I pay for everything. Houston car show was $162,000 for me to do, but I did it.
I was going to come to yours, but God is blessed. We got a couple of Lambos.
Yeah.
And my boy Reg from BBS Boys.
Okay.
That's my man.
That's the
so he's like, yo, come to the thing. But we had an event at my house, and Doughboy, DJ Doughboy, he DJ'd my party. So.
Shout out to Doughboy.
Yeah.
But I always encourage people to, cars and jewelry is good, but we have to start keeping our own, and and that's why I'm always great, and I always like with Camilo, who owns his own a couple of restaurants. I love it. With Self, that owns his own restaurant. Angela Yee owns a hair store, a coffee shop, a juice bar.
I have a credit building platform too called Stellify.
A bunch of that. So it's like I encourage that so much, and we try to promote that. And I love to see DJs doing, whether it's Quicksilver with the DJ Academy or it's so many different DJs with so many different things. I don't want to not mention one of them, but I really encourage it. So I like to see it because and I appreciate what you guys are doing. And we'll see you next time on the Come Up Now. We'll see you next time. We'll see you next time so we can talk more about,
definitely
your influence on this game.
Definitely.
All right. Well, it's the Breakfast Club. It's Cosmic Kev, Rabu, Gary. Did I say it right?
Yes, sir.
It's the Breakfast Club. Good morning.